Yeah, probably like it is all over this country where they're in day three. It's I think everybody. I noticed. I read USC Lane Kiffin, talking about they're going to probably practice more like NFL teams than regular college teams. I see there's several teams around the country, practicing once a day. It's a constant measuring act of. I mean, we need every single snap, every rep. We could stay out here all day if it was just based on how much we needed. But balancing, where is it diminishing return? How much work can you get without guys breaking down? And that's the toughest thing. I think that's the biggest. The biggest thing as a head coach is just trying to gauge where your team is. How much you can ask them to do. So we're probably like everybody else. I mean, it's a grind right now, and we're only 3 days into it. We've got some injuries. You probably, DeMarcus, DeMarcus Rogers, I think, has a hamstring. Ty Kirk has a bit of a foot injury. We're not sure how significant that is. I'm trying to think anyone else. I think that may be it. Ty Kirk and DeMarcus Rogers. Other than that, we're just like everybody else. Just trying to find some positives.
First day in shoulder pads, a little more physical?
A little more. I think the kids really look forward to it. And, actually we practice, I can see the discipline in our practice compared even to the spring, but particularly when we first got here, of just getting really good work and not having a lot of guys on the ground, a lot of piles, because we have shoulder pads on, but we don't have pads in our pants. So, I thought it was pretty good. I think we've matured a little bit as far as just practicing against each other and working as offense and defense to try to make each other better.
Talked a little bit about the newcomers yesterday, particularly in the O-line where they're going to be so crucial. How are they looking?
Well, there's no question young guys are going to have to play. We've been impressed with Garrett Adcock. Comes in here, first of all, he's really smart. Had a great summer here. He's probably the first guy right now, if you say who's going to help this team. And again, today's the first day in shoulder pads, so we're a little bit ahead of ourselves. But I think Garrett Adcock will help us. I think Johnny Viscano will be probably the second guy of that group. And then, we have Josh Baggett and Aqua, two young guys. So, Rick, we're going to have to play all of them. It looks like right now Garrett Adcock's the most ready to play right now.
Coach Best was saying yesterday that even at this stage, installation is an ongoing process.
We've got a lot of stuff in. We're putting a lot of things in, and that's almost the same decision you have to make as when you talk about how much do you practice and how much time do you spend on the field. We got to get a lot of things in, particularly on defense, because we play a lot of different teams with a lot of different schemes. And what makes it tough is our offense is so multiple. So it's the same thing it was in the spring. It's putting a lot of things in, not spoon feeding them, and then at some point, we get down the road, we start paring it back to what we can actually play. So you just can't. We got to get a lot of things in, but none of it we're very good at right now. I see that.
For the defense, working against the unconventional offense during the fall, is that in any way a disadvantage when you go to prepare for?
I don't think it's a disadvantage. We try not to overreact to things that break down defensively, schematically as much. It's more technique and finding out which guys can play technique. We'll get the schemes matched up. That's our responsibility as coaches. No, I don't think so, because our offense is a run-first offense, and it's toughness, and it's teaching those kind of things rather than they're throwing it every down and we're a finesse. It's forcing us on defense to line up and play disciplined assignment, run-first defense. But no question, cerebrally, it's a challenge for our kids. Because we're mixing, we've got some triple option in there, and then all of a sudden it's, okay, now we're practicing for Boise State, and okay, now we're practicing for Texas Tech. There's just a lot of X and O's going on. I think it's tough on these kids.
When you talk triple option, is there anything that could be under center, or is it just all done from the pistol?
We're going to do a little bit of, not necessarily triple option, we're going to have a little bit of under center package. I've always been when it's fourth down and 6 inches, I've just never been a big proponent of being back there in the shotgun. Certainly we're going to be in the shotgun a majority of the time, but there will be a little bit under center.